Has been, blessed.
Shut up, Cecil. There's no cuckoo there.
No, but it sounds as if there has been.
You know, another segment of the gang, of course, was Norton and Gold. Norton and Gold were real natural stooges. They were a couple of plasterers, came from Glasgow.
Just a second. What's this? Follow the flit.
Their first act that really brought them to fame, where they had a plank of wood, and they used to sing a song. Oh, the plank it is too short, turn it round the other way, turn it round the other way. And they had two trestles and a board, and they couldn't get the board on the two trestles. And the great thing all the time was, whoa, turn it round the other way. And this is what they did.
Oh, if we only had some dill water.
But there's one act that was with the Crazy Gang for years, and that, of course, was Carol and Monday.
Oh, your nose is cold. I bet you're healthy, aren't you? Oh, I wish I were a little egg as bad could be. I'd stay up in my little nest away up in the tree, and when a naughty girl like you came jumping round with glee, I'd burst my little naughty self and sprinkle you with me.
Billy Carroll, who was a tail suit comedian, started off as a dancer, and of all things, he was an upside-down dancer. He stood on his head, there was a platform above him, and he had a partner on the platform, and they did simultaneous step dancing. Bill was upside down.
So this is Paris. Oh, don't...
I was there when they first did this Crazy Gang, and of course it was sensational then, people running down the aisle, interrupting from boxes, had never been seen before, and it was an absolute riot. And I particularly always liked Flanagan and Allen, because they made these lovely jokes.
I brought two whistles.
Yes.
Now then, you've got one?
Yes.
And I've got one too.
Yeah, eh?
I say you've got one, and I've got one too.
So you've only got one.
I know I've only got one, and you've only got one too.
Well, where's the other one?
Which other one?
The one I've got.
You've got one, and I've got one too.
Do it again. Do it again.
With you. There's two whistles. Now then, you've got one,
Yes.
and I've got one too.
It's done with mirrors. I've seen it. It's done with mirrors.
Mirrors?
Let me have a go.
All right, you have a go.
Now, there's a couple of two whistles here, isn't it?
Two whistles.
Yes. Now, you've got one.
And you've got one too.
I felt it go. I felt it go. Where did it? No, I can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered. Hold your hand out.
No, I'm the monitor.
Hold your hand out. Now, you've got one now. If anything happens your side,
Yes.
you whistle one. If anything happens my side, I whistle one, two.
Why should you blow more than me?
I don't blow more than you. I only blow one. And you only blow one, too.
I blow twice on me one once. Is that what I do?
You blow one in your one whistle one, and I blow one on my one whistle two.
Why should you blow more than me? That's what I want to know. Why should you blow more than me?
I only blow one.
And I only blow one. Two.
My favourite one, I remember them telling it at the Palladium, was Bud said, I've just been up to Scotland. All the Scotsmen wearing kilts. And Ches said, oh, really? Did you see the Trussocks? And Bud said, no, it wasn't windy. And he'd go, oi, like that.
Yeah, that was a good song we just sang. What was it?
Don't be so ignorant. That was Friendly Joe.
Friendly Joe?
Chummy Dick.
Chummy Dick?
Pelly Archie, Pelly Archie.
Oi. Now, I suppose the one that everybody remembers more than most, Bob Flanagan.
If women wore electric lamps on their garters tied, no more we'd sing Sweet Adeline, but lead kindly life.
And he teamed up with a man called Jack Buckland, and they called themselves Harlem and Bronx. Both blacked up. They were black-faced comedians, were very popular in those days.
There's a big day coming, and we'll all be happy when we join their jubilee throng. Shout a glory, glory, and a hallelujah. There's a big day coming along.
I was now with Florrie Ford, and my wife was a leading lady, and I was not only managing, but I wanted a partner. And Bud came along. He wasn't very happy. He was a Kilmarnock, and he said, I'm Chick Harlan, you remember? And we had a long chat, and the result was that a partnership started.
Now, I'm going through the act. Well, that's a good idea. Now, I started first, don't I?
You start.
Why is a picture house a fat woman?
I don't know why.
Well, a picture house draws the crowd, and the fat woman crowds the... Word.
So, Bud Harlem joined Florrie Ford's show. Now, she didn't want a blackface comedian, and two, she couldn't call anybody Bud Harlem on his own. Harlem and Bronx, I suppose that was synonymous. But by a strange coincidence, Florrie Ford's maiden name was Flanagan, and she had a great sense of humour. And I think she thought it was a funny gag to have a Jewish man called Flanagan.
Has anybody here seen Florrie? F-O-R-D-E. Has anybody here seen Florrie? Find her if you can, for she's not all skin and bony. And you bet it's all her only. Has anybody here seen Florrie? Florrie from the Isle of Man.
We seem to know each other so well. It's like, in the nicest possible way, a married.
My life is just a gamble from the cradle to the grave. To live is just like playing out a hand. You cannot help what cards the dealer gives you, so make the most of what's at your command. To moan your lot, just a waste of time. Better far to laugh than to complain. And when you've lost the game, don't lose your courage. Just call another hand and try again. Never moan our sorrow. We borrow for tomorrow. That's if tomorrow's morrow comes up to what we mean. Bubble-de-do might have made a big name. Out there's millions just the same who are dreaming of what they might have been.
And then we joined the Crazy Gang, and that's the most greatest time of my theatrical career. We had such enjoyment, so many laughs.
Goodbye, little yellow bird. I gladly make with you. I love you, little yellow bird, but I love my freedom too. So goodbye, little yellow bird. I'd rather face the cold on a leafless tree than a prisoner be in a cage of gold.
For good stuff like that.
One man who was never in the original Young Bloods of Variety because he was too posh. He was a very elegant juggler. Eddie Gray.
Notice the perfect coordination of brain and
Oh,
muscle.
look who's here.
Oh, so we caught you in Kip, eh? In une minute, moi will juggle avec deux more clubs, not une, but deux.
Eddie had two brothers, Billy and Danny, who looked exactly like Eddie when they were all made up. But he used to have a long moustache and a top hat and funny eyes, a white face. And of course, you couldn't tell one from t'other.
Now, first of all, I would like to introduce you to my assistant. That is the wife's son. Very, very intelligent, very, very intelligent. Speaks beautiful French. Regardez. That's foreign for have a butcher's hook. Un, deux, trois, fump. That's without thinking. And what comes after fump? Fump-a-now.
With Eddie Gray, he was a terror. He loved to sit around in his dressing room, especially in a hot summer, with nothing on, stark naked, except for his moustache, drooping moustache, his dicky bow front, his suspender stockings and shoes, that's all, nothing else. And he had no qualms about sitting there. Now, I came in to see him, and he said to me, "Oh, Charlie," and he started swearing about his bookmaker, using some terrible language. And as he did so, the door, which was open, a woman passed, and he saw her go by. And a few minutes later, he heard the door close up further up the passage and realised she was coming back out. So he dived out into the passageway, confronted this woman who saw him stark naked and looked everywhere, but, you know, trying to hide her embarrassment. He said, "Oh, Mr. Gray." He said, no, I used bad language in front of you and it wasn't right. He said, "I do apologise." She said, "It's all right, Mr. Gray," and looked everywhere and going red as a beetroot. And he said, no, I insist." He said, I'm a gentleman, let me see you to the front door." And he walked all the way. from the dressing room right to the stage door, stark naked. This Paul went out puce-coloured. This is Eddie's idea of a joke.